Hisuian Electrode is a brand new grass type, making its debut in VGC from the Pokemon Legends of Arceus game. With a grass typing and a very fast speed stat, we're going to be using a team that got 9th place in an online ladder tour early in Regulation D with a pair of Annihilate and see how well it performs. This team features Hisuian Electrode and Annihilate with a really fun combination with Self Bullet Seed featuring the loaded dice guaranteed 4 to 5 hits onto the Annihilate with the Choice Scarf and Rage Fist, allowing it for a very fast, unexpected KO. Powered by the Screech as well from the Electrode, it can be a deadly duo combination. Then we have another mode with a Booster Energy Iron Hands that can do a lot of damage in Trick Room, paired with the side spam of Entity and Armourouge for the hard Trick Room mode, as well as Anonymous, which is a new Pokemon that can do a lot of damage under the Trick Room and doesn't care about Amoonguss with the Overcoat. It has really good offensive coverage overall. If you want to check out the details of the team and the creator, they will be linked in the description down below. Hisuian Goodra, Grimmsnarl, Urshifu, Xianpao, Landorus Variant, and the Galarian Moltres. Okay, this can be unique here. I'm not exactly sure how this matchup exactly plays out, but we do have tools, of course. We have our Armourouge, which is really good against the Hisuian Goodra. I suppose actually it's neutral, like because it's a dragon type too, so actually might be a little bit weird. Enamorus should be able to do really well against the Goodra because we are able to take its body press pretty well, and we do have like really good special attacks to hit it, because the iron defense is just going to be, or whatever that it has is going to be like really scary to stop. I actually do like the Electrode plus the Annihilate is actually really good here because I could potentially do like a bunch of Rage Fist combinations against a defensive core. And if it's defensive, then I'm in a really good situation. So I do want to try maybe something like that. I don't think I need my Iron Hands too much. It's useful. It's like not bad either, but I do like the Armourouge. I do like the Hisui or the Anonymous variant, so I think it's actually pretty good. Let's just see, because this is a really weird team. I feel like I had a lot of options. Like Iron Hands could be really good depending on like it's good against the Galarian Moltres. It can be against the Goodra, I suppose, depending on like how many iron defenses I let it set up immediately, but we'll see. And I really like this combination right here where they let the Landorus variant plus the Grimmsnarl. Great for me, as long as it's not Thunder Wave on the Grimmsnarl, which, why did I say that out loud? But they give me the Defiant with the Annihilate, so I have a +1 attack. And now I can go for a Bullet Seed into the Annihilate, and I can go for the Rage Fist into the Landorus. And yeah, we have a Choice Scarf Annihilate here. If they go for Reflect, I'm kind of curious if I pick up the Knockout, so I'm down to try it out. So we'll find out. I am going to go for the Bullet Seed. We are loaded dice, so we are going to be able to boost this Rage Fist up quite significantly right here. And oh my goodness, I'm excited for how much. Unfortunately, we don't get the 5 hit, we got the 4 hits. So let's see if we're able to do enough damage to this Landorus. We are able to just knock out the Landorus. That's absolutely insane. That fast combination right there really paying off. And okay, very strong start. We're able to eliminate it, and we're going to see what is coming in. It's going to be the Goodra, and okay, interesting to see the Goodra here, but you know what? We have Screech on this Electrode. We're gonna go for the Rage Fist. Let's see. I don't think it's surviving. Don't be Terra Normal. Are you kidding me? You better not be Terra Normal right here. We're gonna see a Terra from the Goodra immediately. I guess maybe to avoid the fighting move, it's gonna be the Terra Fairy, which, okay, that doesn't change anything for the Rage Fist coming up. Let's see if we're able to knock out the Goodra here with the Rage Fist plus Screech combination. A Light Screen gonna come out, okay, which is not going to do anything against my team. And Screech going to come out into the Hisuian Goodra. Oh man, this Rage Fist, even behind the Reflect. I don't care if you're max defense Hisuian Goodra. Goodbye. Rocky Helmet on top of that. Not leftover, surprisingly, but the Goodra is eliminated right there. And yeah, that is one sad Goodra. But yeah, we have kind of just been able to clean up the first 2 months of my opponent right here, and we're going to see the back is going to be the Galarian Moltres. Okay, so that Pokemon's actually still a bit of a threat, surprisingly. I do kind of want to make sure that I have safety measures for it. Let's see here. I mean, the Inanimate should be good enough. I actually kind of want to go for a Screech into the Moltres and go for the Rage Fist and just see if I can still pick up the knockout. And I think it is actually kind of worth it. I mean, this is, oh my goodness, like how powerful is this? Like 250 base power plus 1 attack. They do have to reflect up, but maybe it's not worth giving the Berserk boost. Maybe I just go out into the Armrouge here. They're actually just gonna forfeit the game. They did not believe in the Galarian Moltres being able to come back in. The reason I want to switch is because, like, I don't want to give them the Berserk boost, lose 2 Pokemon, and then be in an awful position. So I thought, okay, maybe I can do like 2 Screech combinations into it, because if I get 2 Screech combinations into that Pokemon, I can go for the close combat with the Annihilate and probably finish it off that way, I think I could imagine. But yeah, really, really strong. I mean, just... like it could have started off any better realistically. Fluttermane, Zapdos, Rillaboom, Landisfarian, Urshifu, and the Heatran. All right, probably going to be the Terra Water on the Urshifu, you want to assume, on this team. I think that would make the most sense. I don't know what I want to lead here, so I have a few options. I do kind of like the Electrode immediately. Electrode's pretty good here. I could go for a Trick Room mode here. I don't think the Anonymous would be that bad here. Like the Trick Room with like Annihilate plus, or not Annihilate, Iron Hands, and one of the Armrouge maybe like into the plus the Anonymous could be really good. But I do kind of want to try to show off this combo, which I think is still pretty good against their team overall. I'd imagine they also have like a Trick Room answer somewhere on their team. And then I think in the back, I'm just going to go with the... I think I go with the Iron Hands anyway, because Heatran's really scary. And then Armrouge in the back. It's kind of tricky because I don't know if it's Iron Hands or if it's going to be Anonymous, because they're both like pretty decent in this matchup. I think Iron Hands to help set up Trick Room. It's also like a decent swap in, and then Armrouge as the last. Let's see how this is going to perform though. Heatran's probably like one of the scariest Pokemon for me here, because Heatran, of course, pretty much prevents Armrouge from really sweeping on the Trick Room. So if I can get rid of that, that would be amazing, but we'll find out. Getting rid of the Fluttermane if I can, depending on like what item it is. We're going to see Fluttermane plus Landorus, so this is going to be pretty scary off the bat. Let's see what the item is on the Fluttermane. The Intimidate goes off first. Okay. So... Define will activate on my Annihilate. Okay, no Terra. Huh. I have a few options. I can go for a Bullet Seed plus a Rage Fist. I don't know if this is like a... I really wish I had U-Turn. That's like the only complaint that I really have here. Like having U-Turn would be really good here. I could go for Thunderbolt plus Rage Fist into the Fluttermane, I guess. Which isn't a bad play, I suppose. I think Thunderbolt into Fluttermane is probably okay. You know what? I will go for the Rage Fist. I'm going to go for the Rage Fist into the Fluttermane and the Thunderbolt. And I don't know if you're hearing it through my mic, but there's a huge thunderstorm that I'm recording in right now. So we will bring out the Annihilate right here and just go for the Rage Fist plus Thunderbolt. The reason we're going to go for this play is because if it is Sash on the Fluttermane, I do want to try to get rid of it as quick as possible. I don't know if they're going to Terra Blast with the Landorus, but it looks like it's not going to be the case. I do get a Thunderbolt off in the Fluttermane. I do get a Paralysis, but should not matter since it wasn't Booster Energy, and we are going to be able to get the Rage Fist. With the Terra Ghost and +1, I just imagined that this would have knocked out because this is like a near max attack. Annihilate, it is jolly, but still, yep, able to knock out the Fluttermane pretty easily. I don't know if they Terra'd, but I don't know if you really Terra in that position, so very nice. Rock Slide going to come out, which is perfectly fine here. I am able to get... There is a crit on the Annihilate, but it really, like, again, they didn't do that much damage, and we're in a great spot. The Rillaboom's going to come in, and yeah, like, we have a +1 Rage Fist that's just boosted right now. And the question is, do I want to save this or not? So I have a few options. I can go into hands here, which isn't bad. I think I like the idea of just going for the KO and the Landorus if I can. I'm going to go for the Bullet Seed into the... Do I self Bullet Seed here? I think I do, right? I'm pretty sure. I can't protect here in this position, really. Could just... Yeah, I mean, I have a few options. I'm just trying to figure out what the best one is here. I do like the Bullet Seed here, I think, into my Annihilate and Rage Fist. Because I don't know if Landorus really runs Protect in this format. I feel like it doesn't. So I am able to go for the Self Bullet Seed into the Annihilate, just making sure I get the KO on Landorus guaranteed here. Like if I'm trading Rillaboom for Annihilate, like having two Pokemon advantage is already pretty sweet, so I don't think it's like that big of a deal. A Rage Fist is going to come out, target down the Landorus, and should be able to pick it up very cleanly here. Very, very nice. Okay, so Landorus is eliminated. Excellent. And Knockoff going to come out and Annihilate, which is going to pick up the knockout, but it's a-okay right there. So Annihilate is eliminated, but we have a pretty good position. We're up 3-2. They still have Terra, which is the only thing I do have to watch out for, but it's still not too awful. I'm going to be able to go out into my Armourouge here, and I do want to go Armor. Do I want to go Armourouge or do I want to go? I think I go Armourouge just to see what the last Pokemon is. We got rid of the 2 threats to the Armourouge that were like pretty insane. This is our Shifu. We can Thunderbolt. It is going to be our Shifu though. Okay. So this actually could be terrifying. I'm going to go for Thunderbolt into our Shifu. I actually wish I went. Maybe this wasn't the best play. They have Terra, and if they're defensive Terra, this ends up hurting me a lot here. I think I'm just going to go for the attempted Trick Room and a T-Bolt into their Shifu. We are going to see a Terra on our Shifu, but at least we force a Terra here, which isn't like awful, but yeah, not exactly amazing. For Shifu is going to Terra out into water. Wait. Electro, do you pick up the knockout, buddy? Because this is actually really important if you do. They go for the Aqua Jet, so I'm assuming they don't live the Thunderbolt. They go for the Aqua Jet into the Armourouge. Am able to survive the attack here. Thunderbolt going to come out into the Urshifu and just pick up the knockout. So amazing. Critical hit right there. I don't know if it matters. Depends on the Urshifu investment, I suppose. But it is a stab electric Thunderbolt from this Electrode right here. And what's the Rillaboom going to do? Going to go for knockoff double up. Okay. So I'll gladly take that trade. That is an amazing trade for me, 100%. And now I can go out into my Iron Hands. We're going to click Screech into the Rillaboom and protect our Iron Hands, because they're probably just like, okay, the Iron Hands is the threat here, of course. So I'm just going to go for Screech because I have 2 shots to hit it. And then I'm just going to attack here. Also stalls out a turn to grassy terrain. I don't think they're really going to assess that the threat is going to be the Electrode in disguise with the Screech. So let's see here. Screech going to come out into that Rillaboom. Make its defense lowered. Let's see. It's going to be... Oh, they did target the Electrode. Good play on their part. But we're still able to survive. So it doesn't really change much right there. Okay. I think it comes down to Woodhammer crit. And it depends on if that even KOs here. I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt into the Rillaboom. I'm just going to go for the Drain Punch, I suppose, into... Ice Punch should KO. I mean, I think any of my moves KO. They're -2. I'm +1 with my Iron Hands. Let's see if we get the Thunderbolt para to just, like, make sure secure. But they're not going for the Grass move. Okay, so Electrode goes down. Aftermath is going to weaken the Rillaboom even further, and even though Electro did not survive towards the end of the battle, it has done its job, KOing the Urshifu and picking up the knockout in the Rillaboom. That could have been bad though. I do think I probably should have went out into the Iron Hands first, because it was like, yeah, Urshifu makes a lot of sense there. I should have probably threatened it too, because if it was a Terra that wasn't water, a lot of them are Terra water, but if it was like a defensive Terra like grass or something, that could have been really awful. So yeah, probably should have just went out into the Iron Hands and forced a better position, because the Armourouge, I mean, I guess like they had to target Armourouge, so it worked out, but that only worked out if it was Terra Water, but it did work out. Excalibur Urshifu Iron Bundle, Landorus Incarnate Form, Tornadus Incarnate Form, and the Amoonguss. So Landorus Incarnate is pretty interesting with Sheer Force instead usually, or it could be Sand Force, but I don't think it's going to be Sandstorm on the Tornadus here. Definitely very unique here. Very fast-paced offensive team. They do have the Amoonguss, but we do have some options. I don't think they could really get Tailwind off right here against my team. I don't even know like what they can really do if I just lead like a Trick Room setter. So I think Landorus might have to lead there for them, their side. I outspeed any booster bundle, but let's see here. I kind of actually want to try maybe just going with the Electrode plus the Annihilate here. Now you might be wondering, like, my Tricker modes can be really good against their team, and I agree, it is pretty strong against their team. There are a few things I am a little bit concerned about, because like they have to prepare for that combination. So I imagine they have to, like, there has to be something, right? Whether it's the Amoonguss leads and goes for the Terra, or Landers with the strong spread move, because I'm worried about the spread move Landers a lot here. So I'm trying to eliminate that before I try to set up Trick Room. So I think I'm going to have these in the bag, because the overcoat on the Unanimous is really good against this team. And then I really like the getting to Trick Room up with the Armourouge. Indeed could have been decent as well, but I'm not 100% certain. And I feel like I might need a bit more offensive pressure against this team. So we'll find out here what they're going to decide to lead. I'm trying to expect something that counter, like Landers plus something that threatens. Like, yeah, like Urshifu plus Landers made a lot of sense to me. So I felt like that this lead was really, really good for me. And it is really, really good for me, because I can go for a Bullet Seed here into my Annihilate, and I can go for the Rage Fist into the Landers. And I don't know if they're going to protect with both, or they're going to protect with one. We're going to see the Landers protect, which is smart here. They double protect, actually. Oh, that's super passive, and it works out amazing for me because I get the free setup here. Like, I thought if they were going to protect anything, it was going to be your Urshifu, because obviously the Thunderbolt could be a factor here. Now I get a double threat to knockout with Thunderbolt plus the Rage Fist, and unless they have a defensive Terra or Focus Sash on their Urshifu, I'm like in a very strong position. I also didn't think the Urshifu would be or Choice Scarf on this team. I feel like you probably want more offensive pressure, maybe like a Mystic Water or something. Maybe it is Sash, but I don't think so. We are just going to go for a Rage Fist and Thunderbolt right here. And yeah, let's see, because they do not have any good defensive plays right here. So I'm very, very happy with how these this turn 1 started. And this turn 2 is not looking great for them, especially no Terras at all. Thunderbolt into Urshifu does a lot less than I thought, but the Rage Fist and the Landers, which is the biggest threat to me, is a very, very good trade-off right there. So Landers eliminated, beautiful, and we are going to see what come out here. Going to be the Surging Strikes into the Annihilate, and does that pick up a knockout? It looks like it's gonna miss here, which is perfect. If I had Indeedee here, I could swap into Indeedee and be in a very, very good position. But either way, I'm pretty happy with how this trade-offs has been going. We're gonna see the Excalibur come out, which is fine. I guess they have Ice Shard pressure too. So that Pokemon's actually like the only thing I'm like actually like really scared of here. So I think I do want to go for a Thunderbolt into the Urshifu regardless. And I do want to go for... I think I'd be okay with sacking both of these Pokemon here. And I think I will go for the sack here. If they protect Urshifu and Ice Shard, it's not that big of a deal. That actually probably works out better for me. They are going to go for the Protect Ice Shard play, which is perfectly fine here. As we will go for the Thunderbolt into the Urshifu's Protect. We can go out into our Unanimous or our Armourouge. I'm leaning towards potentially the Unanimous, because I feel like if I want a Terra, I feel like this is going to be the case here. I'm going to go for the Terra here in Moonblast, because I don't want to take the Aqua Jet damage from Urshifu into my Armourouge, which I think would be pretty bad here. So I think I'm gonna Thunderbolt, and let's go for the Moonblast here into the Excalibur. If they don't tear the Excalibur, they're in a really, really bad position. Or if they protect, that's a fine position here. So we are going to see, yep, they are going to go for a Terra. You want to imagine that this is Excalibur. I do not think you could really afford not to. Is it Poison or Fire is the question? It is going to be Steel. Okay. I don't think they're Terra Blast, but this is still like not too bad. I still get a pretty decent amount of damage to the Excalibur, and it just depends on what they do here. I don't know what the Bax is actually going to accomplish. We're going to get a Terra Steel or Terra Fairy with our Unanimous, so we're no longer weak to the Icicle Crash, which Aqua Jet and Icicle Crash is probably like a likely play here. They target down at the Electrode. Interesting. Okay. Ice Shard double up. They're trying to pick up the knockout, but they don't. Okay, that's really good for me. Able to get a Thunderbolt off, knock out the Urshifu. Wonder what they were expecting. Maybe they just really didn't want to target into the Unanimous spot, but yeah, I will be able to get a Moonblast off Terra Fairy. Let's see how much damage this does. Determines whether it might be an Assault Vest set or not. Doesn't look like it's going to be an Assault Vest set, so some pretty good damage all across the board. If it's a Amoonguss, that's nice. If it's Tornadus, I am a-okay with this, because I can go for a Thunderbolt into the Tornadus right here. and I can go for the Earth Power into the Excalibur and threaten a lot of heavy damage right here. If they go for the Ice Shard, that's okay here. We have an Assault Vest, so we should be taking the attacks just fine here with our Unanimous. So let's see. Gonna be the Air Slash. That's a concern here. Specifically for that reason is because they get the flinch, okay? No, but they didn't have the actual attack though, which is actually kind of interesting. We are gonna bring out our Armourouge. I think they had to prevent the Trick Room. I'm gonna go for the Earth Power and hope they don't double up my Unanimous. If they double my Unanimous, good play on their part, but I don't know. I think if I get Trick Room up with Armourouge, it's a wrap here, because then I could just Armor Cannon. Like, I don't know. It depends on the item on the Torn too, but let's see. We will protect our slot. They do go for the Air Slash, not a taunt. Okay. Did they double up with the Glaive Rush, which is what I'm thinking they do? Oh, they Spear. Okay. Do we live? Which I think we should. Looks like it's loaded dice. Oh boy. Okay, they did get the 5 hits for she. They did not get the 5 hits, so we do get the Earth Power off into Excalibur. Does pick up the knockout. That game a little bit too close for comfort. A little bit too close for comfort. I guess it's not over yet, because they could theoretically have Break Wind Storm as well, but yeah. We're gonna go for Expanding Force. Should I Trick Room? Actually, no, I should Trick Room, right? No, I should Trick Room. I should Trick Room and Moon Blast the Torn. They actually have Air Slash and Blink with Storm. I do dodge with the Armourouge, but are you serious? Okay. Air Slash Blink with Storm. All right. So we lose our Unanimous, which is fine. We are able to get the Trick Room up. If that was the case, I probably had to go for Armor Can. It depended on how much damage I guess they did, but what am I dealing with here? We're gonna go for Expanding Force because of this Focus Sash. We don't want Armor Cannon into a crit there, which I think is the only way, so I'd rather play around like anything else. Air Slash gonna come out into Armourouge, which has significant damage, like a lot of damage. They tear the Excalibur, so I don't have anything to worry about. We're just gonna go for Expanding Force, pick up the knockout into Tornadus. That'll be a good game. Oh my goodness, the loaded dice on the attack. I guess I should have just attacked with the Armourouge, but even then it was still like dicey of a situation. I guess like maybe Dragon Knight, Fluttermane, Cresselia, Ursaluna, the Urshifu, and Amoonguss. Okay, so Dragon Knight without Shampoo is like really interesting because it's like pretty much the main duo, I feel, but all right. So we have quite a few threats. The Ursaluna is really scary. The Fluttermane could be pretty tough, but I do actually like the Electrode plus the Annihilate. It's just like such a fun combination. I just don't see why I wouldn't try it here, because it's just able to dish out a good amount of damage against like most of what my opponent could really do. So I do kind of like that. And then I think in the back, Armourouge plus Entity is like really strong here. I just like the idea of being able to put on a lot of pressure. The Amoonguss, it's really hard to lead against my team because, of course, the Entity Armourouge combination. So that means I can pretty much just go for a Rage Fist against like any target I usually want to accomplish. And let's see what they decide to lead here. Going to be the lead of the Amoonguss Fluttermane. They actually did lead the Amoonguss Fluttermane. Okay. Against my Annihilate plus my interesting. Into my Electrode. Let's see, how do I want to approach this, because I have a few options. I could go for Taunt immediately if I want to. I could go for the Bullet Seed plus Rage Fist to at least KO the Amoonguss, which isn't like a terrible option because I could probably get Trick Room up, and then Armourouge is like in a really solid spot, but it is still something I do have to worry about. I could Taunt here as well. Taunt isn't too bad. I think I'm just okay with going for the Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed Rage Fist isn't too bad in a Fluttermane, I think, turn 1. Yeah, I think I'm going to try it. We're going to see a Terra immediately come up from my opponent, so I wonder if this is going to be the Flutter. It actually is the Flutter. Okay, into the Terra Fairy. All right, so Dazzling Gleam? Or maybe I was wondering if they were going to click Shadow Ball or not turn 1. So Terra Ghost would have been really good here, but it's okay. They don't actually go for a Rage Powder here. So that's pretty big because I don't think they're expecting the Scarf on the Annihilate. So I am going to be able to obliterate the Fluttermane. Unless this is Sash Fluttermane. We'll find out if it's Sash Fluttermane right here. No, it's not. I didn't think it'd be Sash on this team. So Fluttermane is eliminated. That's a huge knockout for me because that's a very big offensive threat here. We're going to see the Spore come out into the Annihilate slot, but not that big of a deal. I will 100% take that. Okay. And they wasted their Terra immediately, so Ursaluna can no longer Terra. If it is going to be, we're going to see the swap here into the Dragonite. So Dragonite really can't touch the Annihilate, I imagine. I think I'm just going to taunt the Amoonguss to prevent Spores coming up later, and I'm just going to like wait till my Annihilate wakes up and just go for a Rage Fist and just burn the sleep turns that I can. If they do have like Aerial Ace, that's fine. So we'll find out. We are going to taunt the Amoonguss, and that means they can't Rage Powder the following turns, which is also nice here. But we're going to see the Dragonite. What are you going for? Are you going for Aerial Ace? Do you have like another attack? It is Aerial Ace. Okay, and that should be Choice Banded. Okay. So that's going to knock out my slot here, which is okay. I'm going to go out into my... Do I go out into Indy or do we go into Armouge? I think I'm going to go Armouge immediately, which I think is okay. I'm going to go for Thunderbolt into the Dragonite just to break a multi-scale potentially, and I'm just going to protect my Armouge. This is still potentially scary depending on their back Pokemon, yet I feel like I'm in an okay spot. They're going to retreat the Amoonguss because it couldn't do anything. We're going to see the... What is their last? Oh, Cresselia. Okay, that's... Cresselia can't really do much though, which is perfect. We will go for the Protective Armouge. I just don't know whether the Cresselia actually could be a threat depending on like... Okay, that's multi-scale 100%. We get Paralysis, which is actually really nice here. Okay. Aerial Ace once again in the Armouge. Alright. I'll gladly take that. We're in a really good spot now because I can go out into Indy and just go for the Expanding Force into the Dragonite, and yeah, they really cannot do much because Expanding Force is just going to threaten a lot of heavy damage. So let's find out though, because the Cresselia is actually still pretty scary. It's not exactly super easy for me to break through, especially if they have Lunar Blessing, which will get rid of the Dragonite's paralysis right here. The Psychic Seed will help, and let's find out. Lunar Blessing, they're going to get multi-scale back. Man, this is actually going to be a really annoying combo to break through. Yeah, because they break out of the paralysis, so now they move next. They go for Aerial Ace though, which is actually like pretty ideal. Okay. Gonna get a Expanding Force off into the Dragonite and the Cresselia, but as you can see, I didn't really do that much damage. Leftovers on the Cresselia. They're just gonna keep spamming Lunar Blessing, and I just can't really do much. Okay. So I'm going to go for a Helping Hand here with my Armouge. I'm going to go for Expanding Force once again because I do need the Expanding Force, and then probably taunt the Cresselia as my next move. Let's see. Because I need to start breaking through this Dragonite right here. We're going to see Aerial Ace come out once again into my Entity. It does pick up the knockout, which is fine. And let's see. The Cresselia, probably Lunar Blessing. Yep. Terra-wise, I'm never tearing my Armouge, I think, in this position. So I might go... Actually, no. Helping Hand, I forgot it's 25%, not like Pollen Puffs. So I am able to knock out the Dragonite still. Okay. Okay, we should be fine. We should still be fine, yeah. Because now I can go out into my... Yeah, we did a bit too much damage. Forgot about 25%, not 50. I keep thinking Pollen Puff, but yeah, we can go out into our... Electrode, we can click Taunt into the Cresselia, we can go for the Expanding Force into both of them, and we're just getting some really significant chip damage overall to secure this end game. So we will go for the Taunt here into the Cresselia. We'll go for the Expanding Force once again. Amoonguss is probably going to protect, but like the Cresselia, I don't imagine has anything that can break through the Armouge. We'll find out. Gonna taunt the Cresselia. Amoonguss didn't protect, so that's actually like just Amoonguss gone. They're gonna go for an Icy Wind, which does the Amoonguss outspeed the Armouge, and if it does, okay. So Icy Wind gonna come out. Get the speed drop. We are gonna get Expanding Force off before the Amoonguss does attack here, and the Amoonguss is eliminated. So yeah, we should have this game 100% sealed. I do not see a way that can come out of this, and Very, very nice. It was actually a lot easier. Like being able to eliminate the Amoonguss was really great. The Lunar Blessing Cresselia with multi-scale Dragonite actually was a little bit concerning, but then again, we were just doing too much to actually get them back in the range of multi-scale, so I guess it ended up working out, but definitely could have gone wrong in factors, especially if the Amoonguss went for the Rage Powder early, but again, they probably weren't expecting the trick there of my Choice Scarf on the Annihilate allowing me to outspeed, so the trade-off ended up being pretty huge. But now just going to be able to get some damage off as Icy Wind as their final retaliation, but Armor Cannon should finish the Cresselia off, and that is going to be a good game. So very, very solid, very solid. The Electrode's been really great. Like, its speed factor is really awesome. It's able to go for that ability combination. We're still able to have the Choice Scarf on the Annihilate, allowing for some really speedy double-ups that opponents would not expect. All right, let's go over the games. Game 1, Electrode and Annihilate were able to set up the Bullet Seed combo, and Rage Fist was able to decimate my opponent even through the Reflect. Game 2, strong start once again with Rage Fist being able to claim 2 knockouts, and thankfully their Urshifu was Terra Water, but if it was a defensive Terra, it would have been very concerning. Game 3, the lead and turn 1 was amazing, but Excalibur ended up being scarier than I thought. Luckily, the 4 hits made up for the flinch earlier, but if they went for Bleak Wind Storm, it would have been really terrifying. Game 4, this game was scary, but my opponent did not expect the Choice Scarf and Annihilate, so they didn't go for Rage Powder, and I was able to eliminate the Flutter Mane. Then the Armouge was able to click Expanding Force inside terrain against some Pokemon that weren't really able to threaten it offensively. This combo was really fun. The Electrode Bullet Seed combination with Annihilate being able to ignore Amoonguss's Rage Powder because it is grass type, and it is really fast, allowing the Annihilate to just go for the follow up with the Choice Scarf and just get a lot of surprise knockouts was really incredible. If you do want to try out the team, the rental code is on your screen. You can check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description, and of course subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.